We're in, I think the region is called Lugari. See, here's the thing. I didn't research anything. I just kind of shipped the car and now we're here. I don't know why, but I was kind of stressed out about coming to these countries. I thought they were going to give me a hard time, you know? Arab guy driving to Iraq. I didn't really think about the circumstances I'd be in. I'd be in a car with a Canadian flag and a license plate that says ciao, you know? Yeah, we're just in Italy. I don't know where we're going, but we're in Italy and we're just driving. What's going on? All right, so today I am looking at a map and really trying to figure this out because I have no idea how I'm passing through Italy the way I knew how I was gonna pass through France. And Italy's got so much to see, but it's not in the budget. I'm coming back. I'm coming back to Italy. There's no question about that. But here's the thing. I'm looking right now. The cops told me in this region to check out Cinque Terre. See, we're gonna have a problem with pronouncing things here too. But yeah, so anyways, all right, sorry. It died. The camera died. All right, listen. Yeah, so we have Cinque. How do you say five? And it's Five Terre. So apparently it's a really cool place and it's like at the end of this region. And then we have Tuscany. So Tuscany and all that. If we didn't go to Tuscany, or actually if we didn't go to Siena, we would come back down along the coast for Rome. It would add an extra hour, and adding those places added an extra hour anyways. Do I want to travel all of Italy for the inland portion before we get to where we're going? Not really. I'd rather stay on the coast. We're gonna go to Cinque Terre, and then we're gonna start looking at the map again and decide from there. Before I added Siena to the map, it was giving me a few different route options. So one of the route options stayed along the coast, like we go to Tuscany and then come back along the coast, go through Rome, and then go inland, and then go back to the other coast, the north coast. Is that, like, do you consider that the north coast? Anyways, like, against the Adriatic Sea. And yeah, so just getting an idea. The next destination, Cinque Terre, is 5 or 4 hours away. So just do some sightseeing along the way, and that way we can cover some ground. Italy's huge. There's a lot to see, and it's all beautiful. So we just take in what we can. And yeah, so if you're new, we're going to Iraq. Where are we going? We're going all the way to Iraq. Right over here, we gotta pass through Turkey, we gotta go through Greece, Albania. So basically a ferry will take us from Brindisi, from that red dot, to Albania, and then we cross into the north of Greece, into Turkey. From Turkey, we drive 24 hours. Actually, it's probably more than 24 hours through Turkey because we're coming in through the border. From Istanbul, it's 24 hours, so it's probably around like 26 hours through Turkey. And that's the part of the drive where I'm not really gonna stop for much, aside from like just sleeping and taking breaks. But I'm gonna try and power through that drive. Only thing is, that's gonna be rough on the car, you know? I probably will take breaks just because of that. The car has got 346,000, I think. I think we're close to 47,000. Here, let's do a mileage check. Wait for it. 346,738. We're definitely gonna hit 350,000 on this trip. Yeah, so when we get to Iraq, I'm just gonna see my family, and then I'm gonna start plotting on how I'm gonna make money. And then yeah, I don't know, I kind of want to travel a bit, so I'm gonna be finding a way to make money and travel. Just continue doing what I'm doing. Will we take the car on another trip? Probably, but I gotta make some money, make sure it's well serviced first. Yeah, so we're in, I think the region is called Lugari. See, here's the thing. I didn't research anything. I just kind of shipped the car and now we're here. Okay, anyways. I did say I was gonna stay here all day and hang out, but it's nothing special. So I'm gonna move down along the coast. I'm gonna set this destination and then we'll see where we end up. And I gotta just like get some work done. So if I could find a Burger King or McDonald's, I don't mind taking the day off before we start enjoying things, because I got a lot that I like kind of started and I'm pretty much done. I just want to like get some Wi-Fi and put everything out there so I can really relax. Yeah, yeah, we're in Italy. Yeah. All right, so I made myself a peanut butter jelly sandwich for breakfast, and it's extra size. Extra size. All right, now I'm gonna go feed these dry bits to the fishies and get on my way. I guess it's to the birds. This peanut butter panini kind of sucks. I don't know, maybe I didn't put enough jam, but there's way too much bread to peanut butter and jam ratio here. So I don't know, maybe I just dump half of this in here and hope for the best, I guess. I'm gonna be all jammed out after this one. Let's see if that helps. I don't know why, but I was kind of stressed out about coming to these countries. I thought they were gonna give me a hard time, you know? Arab guy driving to Iraq. I didn't really think about the circumstances I'd be in. I'd be in a car with a Canadian flag and a license plate that says ciao, you know? Two things that'll get you for France and Italy really easily. And I just didn't think about that. I was just thinking, oh, I'm gonna have a really hard time. It's gonna be very difficult and the police are gonna give me a hard time. And no, it's been the exact opposite. What I will say though, this sandwich is really unappetizing. It's just like dry submarine bread. It's not a vibe. I'm just powering through this. I have a whole other half of this bread. I really don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Maybe I'll make eggs, but it's so dry and stiff. It's very like, eh. Like this kind of bread, you'd have to have stuffed with cold meat and a lot of sauce to make up for the dryness. You know when the bread is so dry, you need a lot of sauce or else you're just gonna suffer. Like I filled this thing with jam, okay? I filled it and it's still like, ugh. It's just soaking up all the jam. The bread is soaking up the jam and it's taking away the flavor. I can't taste the jam. Yeah, so I tried to wash the car yesterday. No luck. It wasn't a self-wash and it had like bristles on the machine, so it wasn't a touchless car wash. So I'm gonna wait until I find another one. There was something else I said I was gonna do, but oh yeah, maybe stick around here. I don't know. Expect plans to change. Yeah, so I think back in SHLOG 2.12, we realized the roof is sagging. And I was just thinking like, what if I completely redo the interior? I don't know. It's like a suede kind of material right now. And like, what if I just took it all out and changed it? What do you guys think? If we do change it, what should we put? Another kind of suede? Something just a little bit higher quality? Maybe just very similar, just something nicer. Because I'm gonna have to redo the pillars too. It's coming loose. It's all coming loose. The pillars, because we got the windshield replaced once and they didn't do it properly. And I think I repainted one of the pillars too once and then they took the windshield off again. So it just kept messing it up. But yeah, I mean, I could fix that easily. I could just pop the pillar off and re-glue it. I gotta do the headliner too. It might be worth considering just changing the interior because the material's not that expensive and I'll do it myself. Basically just take it off and then lay it out and see what the measurements are and cut the new stuff the same exact measurements. Just use it as a template. I think it could be a cool project and material is very cheap. Like we could get something nice. We're gonna stop in Genoa. We'll stop in Genoa. We'll go to a beach there. It'll be a proper city, so let's do that. markets here. And not saying the buildings in France weren't colorful, but here it's like really, really colorful. About how cheap the gas prices are that I just saw after what happened to me yesterday. Yeah, no, we're not talking about that. Town called Savona. It's a city, it's not a town. It's pretty nice. I didn't even know we were gonna be passing through. I'm pretty low energy today. I was yesterday too. I don't know, I think I'm gonna need to like just sit down and get some work done. I think that's what it is. Very difficult in the heat. And last night I was so tired I just slept. I didn't do anything. I'll find a cafe or something, sit down and do some work. Let me just not speak my plans because they never end up happening. The camera just turned off. You guys know when it overheats, I literally gotta turn the AC on and like put the camera against the vent to cool it down, and it's really a pain. Yeah, we're just in Italy. I don't know where we're going, but we're in Italy and we're just driving. I feel like I'm not enjoying it the way I should be right by now, but I don't know. It's not in the mood. I think I'm like, you know, I'm like, what, 4 weeks into the trip or something? I'm ready to make money. I think my subconscious is like, nah, man, you gotta go get some money. I got that Fireblood, you know? I can't sit around too long. I'll get antsy. I think that's what's going on. I'm not gonna lie, I'm thinking of expediting this trip. If I do, I'm gonna have to do it again. You know? Maybe I'll go get, there's a specific car that I'd like to buy, and not that easy to find around here. So maybe I'll have to do this trip again. We're just passing through another beach town here. It's all beach towns. And it's very nice, like, wow. Look at the architecture on this church here, and the colors. These striped patterns, the clock. I'm noticing that that style of clock on the church tower is very common here. Oh my back. Halfway there. Alright, so And now we're in a town called Venazzi. These, their towns are very big here. And I kid you not, every single person I pass by that notices the car is in complete awe. It's funny. Let's catch a reaction right now. Let's just catch a reaction. Oh, there's a license plate to say your child. I have like the most wanted license plate in all of Italy right now. Like the most desired license plate. I can guarantee it. This is a viral worthy license plate here in Italy. Wow, what a nice town. Hey, so you better cut all this stuff out. Don't get greedy with it. And this guy's like, what the hell? Why does it say your child? Yeah. This guy over here is just like completely Myron. Oh, and now we're on Nice Mountain Road. Remember I was saying, oh, those are nice mountains? We're on those mountains right now. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. You know how I know, like, I really gotta get back into the gym? I'm still sore from those pull-ups I did in Cannes. That was like 2-3 days ago. Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of people, well, actually, first of all, I saw the American flag a few places, and then I see people wearing, like, clothes with the American flag on it. And I was thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, it kind of makes sense. I mean, a lot of Italians immigrated to the United States, you know, a lot. They have a huge community in the United States, so I'm sure it goes the other way. A lot of American Italians come back to Italy, and they're hanging out here most of the time or some of the time. So there's definitely like an American cultural influence, I guess. Not really. It's just that they're somewhat patriotic American as well, right? Just thinking out loud here. It's not a thesis. Oof. Oof, another town in the hills. Wow. It doesn't stop. It don't stop. I was gonna stop and walk down to the beach, but there was a car in my way and I didn't feel like waiting. Guys, I don't think we're gonna make it through Italy. We're going for a lot of gas here, and there's not a lot of time being chopped off. Look, I got the Nona squad. The whole Nona squad was staring at the car. Some more Italian markets. Man, you really gotta be careful not to hit somebody here. Everybody just walks into the street, doesn't even bother to pay attention and make sure that, you know, they're not gonna get hit. They just walk in. Driving from Canada to Iraq is a good way to kind of transition into Eastern driving standards, because if not, imagine just going straight to Iraq and trying to drive without like slowly going through the countries on the way. Because as you go, you kind of transition from civilized driving to highly uncivilized driving, with the exception being that from Canada to the UK was the opposite. Going Canada's very uncivilized driving, and then UK, highly civilized, and France, very civilized for the most part, until you get to the south, and then there's some assholes. But yeah. But France, way better than Italy. Italy, it's very aggressive here. People are like riding your tail, a lot of honking, a lot of unnecessary honking, and it's just like, it's definitely a lot less comfortable than, you gotta pick up the speed basically. Because I was kind of getting used to France, just like, you know, coasting, and here I try to do that and everybody's on my tail, everybody's like aggressively pushing behind me. I'm sure it's gonna get even more intense when we get to Albania and Greece, for sure. and even probably even the south of Italy. These are just things I'm noticing, but it's good that we're doing that transition. That's my point. Let's say I just took a plane ride to Iraq, or I shipped my car straight there. It would be pretty painful going and driving straight in those like chaotic streets. Everybody's honking, everybody's pushing right into you. There's no such thing as, you know, lanes. There's no such thing as a lane. No, lanes are optional, you know? Everybody knows that. So yeah, it's kind of good that I'm getting this practice in now on the way, because once I get to Iraq, it's another animal. And one thing about Iraq, and the reason I actually brought these spare wheels with me, is it's gonna be very easy to like crack a rim. You know, you gotta be very careful in Iraq. This girl's like just giving me the oddest look, like yeah, so you gotta be very careful in Iraq because the streets are torn up in some areas. Where I'm going, it's pretty good, but on the way there is another story. The border, there could just be a random hole in the highway that'll just completely crack your rim open. That's what we gotta be careful for. These wheels are very hard to find, they're expensive, and I had the spares, so it's best to bring them, even though it's very inconvenient having so much space taken up in the trunk and not, like that space I could be using for a fridge, right? What do you want? You want a fridge with a car that can't get anywhere? That's kind of the reasoning there. All right, guys, we're pulling up into yet another town. It's like one town after the other. This one's called Arenzano. I wasn't really communicating much on where we were going, what we're doing for the first part of the drive. Just very tired and out of it today. And I'd love to find somewhere to get my work done that I've been trying to do since France. It's kind of on my nerves. This is your like typical supermarket around here. There's like all these building structures on the side of highways, usually on the side of a roundabout, and it's just full of like stores and stuff. Multi-story. It's got like a supermarket, a few other things. I've seen a few of them, same style. The street signs are pretty straightforward around here. It's like, the only thing that was very confusing to me when I got to Europe was the no parking sign, but it's universal. Every single country in Europe uses it. It's like a blue octagon, I think, or is it just, it's a blue circle with an X through it, which just means no parking. If you see one of those, you're not allowed to park wherever it's been placed. Wow, look at this. Very nice town. I could really use a beard like trim. I'd pay a guy to do it. I don't feel like doing it out in the heat. I don't have a proper mirror and I feel like I'm gonna mess it up. We like chose the worst time to drive. I don't think we're gonna do this anymore like this. I think we're gonna have like a new strategy for how we travel for Italy. Or maybe it's not all gonna be like this, but this right now is rough. We're just burning gas and not getting anywhere. Like we've done 15 minutes and burned like through an 1/8 of a tank. It's really bad. And we paid premium for this stuff. Look how nice this is. That guy is. Ciao. Oh look, it's this BMW wagon. I'm sick of driving. I'm gonna go to the beach. Well, there's no beach near us. Oh man. There's tape residue all over the car. Oh man. I'm just waiting till the heat like just completely takes it off. There's no point in trying to rub it off.